Heyo, gamer with taste here. Been a while since I made a video of a longer format, but today I kind of wanted to just talk about Borderlands 4. And I'm a huge Borderlands fan, so just wanted to kind of talk about, like, I don't know, some people in the Borderlands community are like not satisfied with Borderlands 4. And, part of me gets it. Like, we're all different people and we all want different things. And I've seen some people say, like, oh, well, we really should have more loading gates. I don't like the open world. I really feel like it's a driving simulator. And, um, I don't know. To me, I don't understand a lot of it. There's some other complaints that I do understand, like drop rates. I feel like drop rates are an issue in Borderlands 4. It's not necessarily like the drop rate of legendaries in general, it's more just the drop rate of getting the legendary you want. And then, like, the biggest reason why that matters and the biggest reason why it's a problem is because not every single drop of every single legendary is going to be the version of that legendary you're looking for. Like, it's one thing to farm for a bod. It's another thing if you want to get a Torg sticky bod to drop from its source. That's completely different. Two completely different scenarios. Getting a sticky Torg bod is so much harder. It vastly harder. Getting a COV bod harder. Like that sort of thing. That's where it kind of matters. That's where the drop rates really fall apart. But I don't know. I've been really enjoying Borderlands 4. Like some people have said, it's a driving simulator, and the game needs more fast travel opportunities. And it's like, I mean, I don't entirely know that I agree with that. A part of me really feels like people just aren't playing it in the way that makes it fun. Like, I've heard people say, "Oh, well, let's say I want to do a bunker. So I have to fast travel somewhere, and then I have to drive over to the bunker, and I drive by all the enemies on the way over to the bunker, and then I go into the bunker and I run past all the enemies, and then I get to the boss, which is where I want to be." And that annoys them because it's like there's opportunities to do stuff, but they're all worthless. They're all too easy. They're not what you're looking for. That they're not what you want to do, right? And they don't really serve too much of a purpose. So you just run past it all. And it's like, I mean, okay, but are you having fun that way? Because it doesn't sound like you are. I mean, why don't you kill the enemies? You can jump off your vehicle and kill the enemies in the open world, see what they drop, but you choose not to. And you can say in reply to that, like, oh, I don't think it's fun to kill those enemies. It's too easy. It's not a challenge. And, I've killed these enemies so many times already, I'd rather just get to the bunker. So why not just give me a fast travel to get to the bunker? And I understand that. I understand that completely and I respect it. I just don't relate to it. Because personally, it's just like, well, I mean, I enjoy, like, I mean, are you looking for, like, there's, I don't know, there's some people who want Borderlands to be this power fantasy where you at one time at once you have both the power fantasy, the fantasy of getting overpowered, and then you also just have the reality of being inherently overpowered, and you just crush and steamroll everything. You got the people who actually get bored with the lack of challenge, and they want there to be challenges like raid bosses. And then you have people who think that, oh, well, it's a PvE game. Don't nerf anything. Don't do any balance changes at all. And just let everything be powerful. I mean, you can do balance changes, but only if it makes things more powerful. And they just don't see the point in not steamrolling all the content. So to me, like, I don't know if any of those people are one and the same person, where they want both the power fantasy and to steamroll all the content. But if you are that person who wants the like both of those two worlds, I really I really feel like you're contradicting yourself. You're being a bit of a hypocrite in a way. Maybe not a hypocrite, but like you're contradicting yourself and you don't make sense to me and I don't understand it. But to me, it's like, I mean, look, if I'm playing Borderlands the steamroll content, here's my chance. I jump off my vehicle, I steamroll some content, see what it gives me. Get back in my vehicle and go back to headed to my destination. I get to my destination. Well, I mean, there's a whole bunch of content for me to steamroll, so might as well steamroll it. Steamroll it, get through it. Who knows? You might die along the way. Who knows what will kill you? You know? Maybe you'll encounter a vile enemy with. Well, I don't think that can happen. A vile enemy with an immune orb. Can that even happen? Can that even spawn? But, anyways, yeah, like, to me, I just don't understand it. Or I can't relate to it. I do understand the complaint. But to me, it's just like. I mean, that's part of the driving simulator aspect. And I know Jolt's dude has said, like, driving is not the greatest part of Borderlands by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it's probably the worst part of Borderlands. And I would agree. I would agree. Like, driving in Borderlands 2 was probably the worst aspect about Borderlands 2. Like, it wasn't great. Yeah, I mean, there weren't even very many weapons I liked using, to be completely honest, on the cars. I don't even use weapons on the cars in Borderlands 4. But, I mean, he's right. It's probably the worst part. But there's a fly flying around. I want to kill it. It's being annoying. But anyways, that's the worst part. Driving is the worst part of Borderlands 4. I agree. But, I mean, did they not make it pretty darn good in Borderlands 4? Like, you compare Borderlands 4's driving to Borderlands 1, 2, and 3, and the pre-sequel? Like, are you really going to tell me that this isn't the best driving that they could have possibly given us for Borderlands 4, for it being an open world map? Like, I don't know, man. I think it's pretty darn good. Like, it might not be the best part of Borderlands, but I mean, so yeah, not every part is going to be the best part, you know? Obviously. I mean, there's going to be some part of the game that's probably going to end up being the worst, especially to you. Maybe not objectively to everybody. Maybe that's a little bit harder to achieve, and somehow Borderlands 4 has achieved it in the driving. All of Borderlands has always achieved it in the driving, in my opinion. But, you know, there's also complaints. What else was there complaints about? Performance. There were performance complaints. And I'm not going to tell you that your complaints about performance aren't real and legitimate and should be considered by the devs and publisher and whatever and whatnot. Like, I get it. I understand. But I can't really relate too much. I feel like most of the people complaining about performance were on PC. Most, not all. I feel like most of them were probably on PC. And, you know, I'm just going to say it. PC is getting shafted by games these days. Like, we've all heard of PC Master Race, but I don't know anymore. Like, if games are just optimized for consoles instead of PC, maybe consoles are a little bit better. Like, in theory, PCs should really be better in every way, shape, and form, no matter what. But that's in theory. In practice, it doesn't turn out that way, does it? It doesn't seem like it does, not to me at least. Um, Not with every game, at least. Maybe if you choose one game and you understand how it works and you set up your PC properly and you stick with that game for a long time and you don't have to change any of your settings. I'm not a PC bro. Maybe I'm ignorant and talking out my butt right now and you're listening to me and being like, man, that's not how it works. Fine, whatever, so be it. All I'm saying is, I have a PS5, and the first day I had performance issues. Did it ruin my fun? No, not really. I mean, kind of, but like, I was still doing really good. I was still sniping people and getting crits and completely steamrolling the content on Vex, and I was still enjoying my time on the game. Like, maybe that's me. I mean, it is just me. This is me talking right now, right? So I'm just saying, on PS5, yeah, I had performance issues on release day, but that's one day, and it's the release day. Like, games these days, if there's any day that it's going to have performance issues, it's going to be on release day. Release day is going to be the day that the game has issues. These days, in particular, if you buy a game early, you are guaranteeing yourself that you are buying the worst version of the game. It shouldn't be that way, but at the same time, logically, it kind of follows. I mean, and I mean, experimental data here. We've played enough games to know. I mean, look at Fallout 76. You know, like, there are plenty of games show us. You buy a game day one, you are only guaranteeing that you get the worst version of that game, except for Fallout 4. Fallout 4 goes against that concept, but I feel like games like Fallout 4, where Bethesda or their publisher or whatever, their game studio just completely ruins the game in an update due to sheer incompetency. I feel like that's very rare and it doesn't happen very often. So, I don't know. There's more things that people complain about. And like I said, some of it I think is legitimate. Some of it I think is just like, maybe you need to play the game differently. Oh, some people say that the game has really poor replayability. I really disagree. I disagree completely. I mean, I'm the kind of guy to replay games over and over and over and over and over again. I play through Dead Space 2 25 times. So I am very biased. I am very biased on this talking point, but as far as replayability goes, the way I look at it is there's already a ton of builds. Like, we have a COV Vex build, we have Maliwan Amon build, we have Maliwan Rafa build, we have a Rocket Punch mobbing Maliwan build, we have a Maliwan Prime Potency Amon build, we have COV Rafa, we have Infinite Crit Harlow that's kind of dominating Harlow's build diversity right now because it's just so good. But there's other builds. There's Neutron Capture, and I'm sure we'll find more with Harlow. There's even a Maliwan Prime Potency build for Harlow. You know, there's probably one for Vex as well. Sniper build for Vex. You could turn that into COV Affinity XXXL build, but you know, like, there's so many different builds that you can do. So in my head, how that factors out and plays out is there's a ton of replayability. Like, you can make a new character, you can make a second Vex, and you can say, okay, I'm doing COV weapons this time. I know I'm going to end up with Affinity XXXL, and I know what class mod I'm going to use. That's going to be the Undead Eye. I think that's what it's called. And yeah, so I'm just going to do the playthrough like that. I already have it all planned out, and it's going to be fun. You know, like, whatever happened, I just having fun, trying something new, or maybe it's not fun, maybe it kind of sucks, but you make it happen because it's what you wanted to do, I guess. There's Jacob's Rafa, Ricochet Rafa. There's a build that like Rafa only uses his action skill. So many different characters you can make. Once you make one build, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how you play the game. Some people like main one character. They make one character, one Vex, and then they get them up to level 50, and then they just go ham on how many builds they can put onto that one character. And I just don't play that way personally because that means that I don't get as much out of the game. And it also means I'm jumping from build to build to build on that character. To me, that's just a lot more work. Like if I start from the ground up, like I get that foundation started, and by the end, I'm where I want to be. And I don't really have to refarm gear. I don't have to make sure I have all the firmware I need. I don't have to farm firmware. To me, it's just better, but you do have to start all over. So the game isn't perfect, but personally, as a Borderlands fan, I feel like Borderlands 4 is pretty much everything that they told us it would be. They told us that there'd be endgame. That was probably the biggest lie. Like, there's endgame, but, you know, it kind of sucks. I don't know how they keep getting the endgame wrong. Um, but they said legendaries are going to be rare again. We talked about how I'm pretty sure Jolt's talked about making purples better than legendaries in many cases. Like legendaries should be very unique, but purples in many ways should have the opportunity to be better than legendaries. I think we got that. We got that. They nailed that in Borderlands 4. The loot feels really good aside from drop rates. Drop rates are really not where they should be. Honestly, Borderlands, if you're watching this somehow right now, Gearbox, if you're watching this, Randy Pitchford, all of you guys, listen to me when I say this. 10% drop chance, okay? 10%, 10%. If you're going to be making Borderlands 5, 10% legendary drop chance, all right? For the love of God, for the love of all that is loot, 10% legendary drop chance. Every single legendary, 10%. And if you need to change it later, you can change it later. I don't care. That's fine. If you feel like one legendary should be, 25%, I'm okay with that. If you feel like, I don't know, like just start off at 10%, see how the community goes from there. Because you have like some legendaries that are at 3%, 2%, 4%, and it just kind of sucks, all right? It just kind of sucks. 10% is where it should be. Just do it, okay? Just do it. But yeah, like and we've got an open world, a seamless world. That's what they told us. Like they're giving us what they told us they would give us, and some of us are still complaining and saying, "Oh, this isn't what we wanted." This is like it's not perfect. It's not a perfect game, but I think it's what I paid for. Honestly, I feel like it's what I paid for. It's pretty close to what I expected, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. And like, yeah, sometimes I'm not having a lot of fun with it because sometimes the game sucks. Honestly, I kind of wish they would just get explosive barrels out of the game. Sorry, Killer 6, but I don't think the explosive barrels are fun. I like honestly just get rid of all explosive barrels. I don't want to be able to grapple them and chuck them at enemies. I don't want that. I don't want my area of effect builds to blow up the barrel right next to me and down me when there are no enemies to get me back up. I don't want that. Get them out of Borderlands. Get them out. Get them out. Why do we still have elemental barrels? Get rid of them. That's how I feel about them. But, K6 likes to fuck around with them. So, God bless the man. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you have a good one. Hope you continue having good ones, and I hope to catch you on the next video, whenever that will be. Uh, really don't know what it will, when. I don't know when. But when it happens, I hope to catch you there. And until then, gonna have to catch you later. Take care.